I think Huskies will be happy where they're at, but it's going to be a pretty nice game to watch tonight.
Well, it's a slightly different-looking Auckland Huskies side, as we'll get to shortly. First of all, let's have a look at the roster for the Wheeler Motor Company Canterbury Rams. Starting for the Red and Blacks tonight, Deshon Taylor and Sam Smith in the backcourt, EJ Singler on the wing, Quinton Bailey and Jack Salt, a formidable front court. Let's hear from head coach Mick Downer.
Mick, thank you so much for your time at your second home game today. How are the boys feeling?
Really pumped after last week's win. We're obviously looking to consolidate that and try and build a little bit of momentum and get our season back on track.
That's awesome. Now, Huskies, they do have the highest rebounding rate at the moment. Do you have any game plans in order to counteract that?
It's been talked about, but it's one of those things, in my experience, no matter how many drills you do or whatever, it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Mick, thank you so much for your time at your second home game today. How are the boys feeling?
Really pumped after last week's win. We're obviously looking to consolidate that and try and build a little bit of momentum and get our season back on track.
That's awesome. Now, Huskies, they do have the highest rebounding rate at the moment. Do you have any game plans in order to counteract that?
It's been talked about, but it's one of those things, in my experience, no matter how many drills you do or whatever, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're aware of it and we've got to get something done. So tonight, I think the possession game is going to be a really critical part of the game, and that's just getting in the fight, in the glass, and coming up with defensive rebounds.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Mick, and good luck for your game.
And now look at the roster for the Sky Tower Auckland Huskies. No Jeremy Kendall, of course. He's gone home, or gone to Australia, onto the next gig for the man who set the league alight for 3 games. So Britt Russ goes at Riley to start in the backcourt. Chris Johnson, Ruben Fitzgerald and Nick Barrow out there for the Huskies. Head coach is Aaron Young.
Aaron, thank you so much for your time. Now, it's your first big road trip away for the season. How's the preparations been?
Yeah, it's been great. We've been anticipating this road trip for a while. We've been at home for the last 3 months with the core group of ours. So, today was great. Got down, spirits are high. We're looking forward to our first hit out here in Canterbury.
That is so awesome to hear. Now, you've got no Jeremy Kendall today. Have you had to change things up in regards to your game plan?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, Kendall was a big part of our offense. He created for others, but I think everyone else will step up, and we're looking to get back to some high-flowing offense, getting the ball through hands, second, third side, and just playing through everyone. And for me, that's exciting.
Hey, well, all the best for you, and good luck.
Referees for the night will be Hamish Dow, Reese Hamilton, the crew chief Matt Bathurst. There's Rambo doing his work and getting what is a sold-out crowd at Cowell Stadium. Fired up for this one, Phil, and we heard Coach Young talk about it there. No Jeremy Kendall makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a big hole to fill for the Huskies. I think they've got a really good core group of young guards that are coming through, and a great opportunity for them. See how they go, and they're going to be under the pump with the Canterbury guards because Mick Downer's going to be full court press non-stop tonight.
Certainly is. So just one import for the Huskies tonight, Chris Johnson. The scuttlebutt is Jeremy Kendall's replacement is sitting in an Auckland hotel somewhere in quarantine, getting ready to be announced by his team. There's Chris Johnson in the back of your screen. Had an impression on debut against the Nelson Giants last week with 30 points.
Yeah, he had a fantastic game against the Giants.
For the Rams, a tough start to the season, Phil, but like you said, they rebounded with a win over the Jets last week.
Yeah, they had a good win against the Jets. I think a better quality side tonight, coming in here, and it'll be a good test for them. Obviously, Mick, they need to get a win to get them back on track for their season.
They certainly do, and it's great to see Jack Salt suited up again. He missed the second game of the season with knee soreness. Certainly didn't look sore last week when he nearly pulled the hoop out of the ground. It has been reinforced with some extra bolts ahead of this one tonight.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little matchup between him and Johnson tonight. Two similar sized bodies, both pretty athletic. Obviously, Johnson can stretch the floor. He can shoot it quite well, so that'll be a real test for Jack.
So Canterbury Rams up against the Auckland Huskies here as round 3 gets underway in the Sales NBL live on the home of sport, Sky Sport. The ball has been delivered. And the young fan makes his way back to his courtside seat. Matt Bathurst will get us underway as Johnson v Salt. The matchup starts at the tip, and the Canterbury Rams will control the first possession. Here's Deshon Taylor, young Zach Riley. What a start he's had to his pro career, looking after a former Australian NBL player tonight. Quinton Bailey sets the first screen of the game, and there's the first shot. Taylor up with a 3-ball off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Brooke Rusco, and here is Zach Riley, ball in hand, Phil.
Yeah, good to see Zach Riley out there. I used to play with his dad back in the day with the Giants, and he was a really good player. And obviously Zach is, he's had a really good start to the season.
Chris Johnson, first bucket of this one, pulled up from the elbow. And we're underway, the Huskies with an early 2-0 lead. And we'll get the scoreboard up for you just as soon as we can. Here's Sam Smith finding Jack Salt on the perimeter. Singler fires from 3 and he gets it to go. EJ Singler.
He's got a nice looking stroke. He gets his feet set. He's pretty tough.
Ruben Fitzgerald. Sam Smith paying close attention to him. Big screen from Nick Barrow. They all are. Rusco just lets that slip through his hands, and the Rams bench enjoy that.
There's that ball pressure from the Rams, forcing a turnover.
Deshon Taylor warming into his work in the South NBL after a rusty start by his own admission. Here's Alex Towner down low. Bailey puts the ball on the floor up with the left hand, just can't get it to drop, rebounded by Johnson. Here's that Riley the other way. Good screen by Barrow. Riley high off the glass. Just doesn't drop from an EJ Singler is away and off to the races. Pulls up in transition. Rebounded by Chris Johnson and those long arms of his.
That was a nice take by Zach Riley. We probably thought he might have got away with a foul there, but Salt got away with a foul.
Here's Rusco. Give and go with Johnson. Then he goes round Johnson. Johnson pulls up from 3 with 6 on the shot clock. Gets it to go. Chris Johnson for 3.
Be a long night for the Rams if he gets going.
He's certainly going to be the focal point of this Huskies offense tonight. Here's Singler, who will likely be the focal point of the Rams offense. Puts the ball on the floor, goes at Rusco, takes the contact, but he can't finish. Gets his own board though, does EJ, and then he finishes. 5 apiece early in the first quarter here as Ruben Fitzgerald and Sam Smith battle their way up the court. Quinton Bailey seems to have the Chris Johnson assignment early. Phil is Rusco with a nice baseline drive and finish.
Yeah, I just think that Quinton Bailey's probably a little bit more mobile than Jack Salt. Get out to those because Chris Johnson, he can stretch the floor and shoot the 3, take it to the basket. Jack's probably not comfortable out there away from the hoop.
Deshon Taylor. Being put off by those long arms. Jack Salt with the hoop and the harm. He'll go the line for one more.
That was a great pass by Deshon Taylor. Good catch and finish.
I've just seen in the start of that possession, the start of a bit of frustration from Deshon Taylor with Zach Riley paying such close attention to him. Just a little push off. And you mentioned that, we talked about it before the game. Salt makes his free throw.
Talking to Brooke Rusco before the game, and Zach Riley, one of his strengths in the game is his defense. He's good at putting pressure on the ball.
Speaking of pressure on the ball, the Rams forcing a turnover there from Ruben Fitzgerald.
Yeah, and this is what I thought we'd see from the Rams tonight. A little bit of full court pressure in the form of either man-to-man or some sort of zone press and sort of zone press there.
Here's Singler. Rusco on him. Drives in. Shakes off Rusco, but Johnson does enough to change the shot and get the rebound. So here's that Riley. Big screen from Nick Barrow. Sends Quinton Bailey to the floor. Johnson has got position down low. Goes to work. Surrounded by Rams. And a good hand there from Sam Smith in the end. And it'll be Canterbury Rams ball.
One too many pivots by Johnson there. He probably should have gone straight up with that catch.
Taylor and Singler just deciding who's going to bring the ball up. It will be EJ Singler. Here's Quentin Bailey. A little bit of space for Bailey, so puts up the three and tickles the twine. Quentin Bailey from downtown.
Oh, that was quite a nasty spill.
Sam Smith up and showing no ill effects though. As he gets back on defense, Nick Barrow just pulls up from the baseline, just a little short, so Jack Salt grabs the board. Just going to see our first look at Dante Russo-Nance in tonight's game as Singler pulls up a contested three ball. That's short and Riley gets the long board. And here is Zach Riley. Skipping down the lane. Just too strong with the layup. It's going to get a gift though. And he comes away with it. Rusco driving and Rusco finishes.
Rams a little bit sloppy with the ball there. Couple of easy turnovers. Let the Huskies getting advantage of the rim.
There's Bailey. Finds it out to Deshon Taylor. Taylor going to work. Back to Bailey. Bailey in the corner for three. He lays it down. Quentin Bailey back-to-back buckets from three-point land. Foul is the call on EJ Singler. Referee Hamish Dale, Sean Murphy and Dante Russo-Nance check into the game for the Auckland Huskies.
Sean Murphy had a really good game against the Giants last week.
Yeah, certainly did. The bouncy young man out of Rosemary College. Got the first time out of the game. 14-9 the lead as we're into the second half of the first quarter. Hugh Bailey and Phil Jones with you here for this one. First game of round 3 in the South NBL. And a lot of eyes on that man on the left of your screen, Chris Johnson, after his impressive debut last week.
He's had a pretty nice start to the game. Knocked down a mid-range, knocked down a three-pointer. He's definitely got some serious skill that he's bringing to the NBL, that's for sure.
5 points, 3 rebounds to start the game. Played 70-odd games of NBA Summer League. This McDowner has a final say to his Rams team. So Rusco, Russo-Nance, Murphy, Johnson and Barrow out there for the Huskies. Taylor Smith, Singler, Quentin Bailey and Ben Constable into the game as Jack Salt takes the seat. Here's Brett Rusco dropping off to Johnson and loses the handle. And it'll be Rams ball. Singler, Quentin Bailey, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Passes up that opportunity. Here's Singler, pulls up over Johnson from mid-range. That's off the front of the rim. I think Constable just a little
bit aggressive on that offensive hook.
Too physical with Sean Murphy.
Actually, that was called on Murphy, was it?
It might have been out of bounds on Brett Rusco, actually, who had the ball on the baseline. Either way, it's going to be Rams ball.
Yeah, it was definitely a foul call. Might have been on Murphy.
And wait for the live stats to update us here as Deshon Taylor steps back on Sean Murphy, puts up a 3. Doesn't go. And this time the foul is called on Ben Constable.
That time.
So pushing the back of Mick Barrow. A little timeout here from Mick Downer. He doesn't seem too happy with what he's seen. That was called on Deshon Taylor. The one we were a little bit confused about. What do you think Mick Downer's seen in those last, 30 seconds of play for him to call another timeout?
I'm thinking he's a little bit frustrated with the execution on offense. They're not really getting the looks that they're hoping for. Early on in the game, they've had some really good penetration on the basket, and then they've been sharing the ball, getting those open threes. There's been a couple of contested shots. I think he's going to probably talk to them about that.
Look down, calling the timeout. Aaron Young, meanwhile, not 2 meters away from our position, talking to his young Auckland Huskies side.
They're very young, but it seems to be they're playing with a lot of poise. The Rams are trying to put them under a bit of pressure, but they're doing a good job of getting the ball up the court and getting into their stuff, sharing the ball really well.
Struggling to get out of their own half in the last few minutes of basketball. Again, Britt Rusko will inbound. I imagine a fair bit of talk from Coach Young in that time that would have been how to beat the Rams' pressure. Screens from both Johnson and Barrow at half court. And here's Russo Nance. Rusko pulls up from 3. He gets it to go. Britt Rusko from downtown.
He's had a nice start to the game, Brooke. Inside out.
7 points for him now as Bailey pirouettes, goes up with a right-handed baby hook. Another rebound for Johnson, number 4. For the import in the early goings here. Here's Rusko again, looking aggressive tonight. This time he drives, is fouled, and will go to the line for a 3-point play.
Great finish. Great take to the rim. We were talking to Brock earlier before the game, and he said he's had 5 years off. Hasn't played for 5 years. He's back playing again. He said he's loving it. It's one of those things when you get older, you kind of understand how to play a little bit better, I reckon. You run in straight lines rather than banana cuts and things like that. And it's kind of showing with him tonight. He's seeing the gaps, he's getting to the rim, he's taking the right shots.
Converts a 3-point play. 15-14. The Huskies lead the Rams. 3.5 to go in the first quarter here at Cal Stadium. Derek Albertson out there for his first bit of action tonight, wearing number 1 for the Rams. Here's Jack Salt back into the game. Albertson back to Salt. Fouled hard by Chris Johnson, and Jack Salt will go to the line to shoot 2.
Pretty strong foul. Put Jack on the line.
That's a pretty strong foul. Yeah. He knew it as well, did Chris Johnson.
Salt looks like he could take a bit of contact, though.
Well, he said before
he's a
the
really
game,
large human being.
I think that if the American military designed a human, they would design Jack Salt. He is a physical specimen. Already much loved down here in Canterbury, originally hailing from the North Shore of Auckland. One of many to come out of Westlake Boys. Misses his free throw, rebounded though by Constable, who can't get it to go. And eventually Johnson gets it for the Huskies, and here they come through Britt Rusko. Rusko looking aggressive early. Finds a curling Sean Murphy. Here's Russo Nance from the wing for 3. His first point to this one, the youngster.
A really nice team basketball. Pressure on the rim, move the basketball, another pass, finding a wide open shooter.
Here's Albertson just directing traffic, trying to get Salt a look down low. That's exactly who they find. He goes to work on Johnson, trying to use his strength. Gets him up, but he gets blocked in the end. Chris Johnson is a long human being. Here's Rusko, looking very energetic tonight. Johnson fires the 3 over Salt. That's off, and it's going to be rebounded. Tucky Farrington is on debut tonight. Driving, taking contact from Albertson. And down comes BJ Singler with the ball. He pushes the pace. Deshon Taylor. Albertson catch and shoot for 3. Rattles around. Another foul on Ben Constable.
Yeah.
2 quick fouls for Constable.
I think he feels like he was a little bit hard done by there, but I think that was probably the correct call.
3 fouls on Ben Constable, I should say, in the first quarter, as we have another timeout here. Britt Rusko with 10 points, Phil, in this first quarter of action. Chris Johnson, 5 points, 6 rebounds. EJ Singler with 5 points for the Rams. It's the Huskies who are setting the early pace in Cal Stadium. Plenty more basketball to come in round 3 of the Sal's NBL. Franklin Bulls in action tonight against the Southland Sharks. Over on Sky Sport as well. Tomorrow night, the 102 Jets take on the Otago Nuggets as the Wellington Saints welcome the Nelson Giants. The Nelson Giants got a doomsday double this week because on Sunday they head to Napier to take on the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Huskies back in action on Sunday as well, welcoming the Sharks to Event Finder Stadium, and round 3 finishes with the Taranaki Mountaineers taking on the Otago Nuggets from New Plymouth. Tough weekend for your Giants, Phil.
It is a very tough weekend, yeah. That Saints Hawke's Bay road trip is that's going to be tough for any team this season.
Back underway here, under 2 to go in the first quarter. Huskies with a 4-point lead, Rams with the full court press. Here's Rusko with Singler on him. Just gets his hand caught in the honeypot.
That puts Brook to the bonus, is it? Free throws?
It is. But Rusko looking to add to his 10 points as EJ Singler takes a seat. His second foul. Deshon Taylor back into the game. Makes his first, does Brook Rusko. Had those years out of basketball, but carved himself a promising media career while not playing basketball. Staple on My FM. And from what I'm told, the MediaWorks radio building in Creamers Bay in Auckland, he dominates the hoop out by the cafe.
I have no doubt he does.
And poor old Andrew Mulligan can't get past him. Here's Sam Smith. Anderson just lost the pill, but regains it. Talma into the game, down low, good position.
Yeah.
And straight into the score sheet, Alex Talma.
That's a handful for Murphy to take care of down there.
And what an assignment for young Dante Russo-Nance up against Deshon Taylor. Cooled off a little against the Giants after a red-hot start to the season. 4 on the shot clock. Rusko gets it to go with a baseline drive. Brook Rusko is playing out tonight.
He's having a great first quarter. Get into the room. I think Mick Downer will be a little bit frustrated with that.
Good box out for Theo Johnson on Jack Salt, and Rusko comes down with the board. 46 seconds on the shot clock, and Rusko just buries his way in. Loses the handle, and he's clutching his leg as Brook Rusko slow to get up. His Salt, meanwhile, and he's fouled by Sean Murphy down low as Rusko limps his way back on defense and hits the deck.
He was holding his knee a little bit there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Great foul by Murphy. Managed to get that in before Salt could get up for the shots.
Zach Riley comes into the game, and the Huskies will just have a look at Brook Rusko as he makes his way off gingerly. Meanwhile, 33 seconds to go in the first quarter, and they go back to Alex Talma. Up he goes with a running hook shot. Jack Salt read the rebound beautifully and finishes it as well. Here's Russo-Nance. Last shot. Yells Coach Aaron Young to his Huskies team. 10 on the clock. Russo-Nance with the mismatch. Drives at Jack Salt up high off the glass and gets it to go. Dante Russo-Nance with a tough finish. And that's the first quarter of action. The Huskies lead after 10 minutes, 24-18. And it's been a lightning start for the Sky Tower Auckland Huskies.
Yeah, I think Coach Young's going to be pretty happy with the first quarter. They did a great job of sort of combating that pressure by the Rams, and then the Rams, they just fouled a little bit too much in that first quarter, which allowed Huskies to get to the basket, get free throws, 3 points. The question mark around Brooke Rusko and whether he's going to be able to come back, without Kendall, without Brooke. It leaves a lot to be done for those younger guys in the squad.
They had 14 of their 24 points, Brooke Rusko, in the first quarter. But he's up, standing on the bench and no longer seeing the physio, so I get the feeling we'll see him injected into the game.
Can you hear that? The sound of change. Plugged in, waiting to be unleashed. A race against time. 12 of the world's most powerful teams. This is Racing Electric. Welcome to Season 7. Change accelerated.
Why not? Okay, let's play countdown, everyone.
I'm going to play you like a bagpipe.
You're in for a real treat.
Let loose on Fridays with these crazy cats.
Now we're cooking. It's a hit!
New episodes of 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Fridays, 8:30 on UK TV.
Roll it.
Watch the game Supreme athletes level up every week.
The ANZ Premiership. We love this game.
ANZ Premiership Netball this weekend, live on Sky Sport 3. Coverage brought to you by ANZ.
Welcome back to Cal Stadium, where the Auckland Huskies lead the Canterbury Rams 24-18 after one quarter of action. Opening game of round 3 in the Sal's NBL. And the storyline from the first quarter has been all about Brooke Rusko. 14 points, 5 for 5 from the field. But then he went down clutching his knee, and he doesn't start the second quarter for the Huskies, but he is up and about.
I think I saw him earlier giving the team a nod that he was okay, so let's hope that he's all right and he can get back out here in the second quarter shortly.
We're back underway. Dante Russo-Nance, ball in hand for the Huskies. Here's the youngster. Screen set by Chris Johnson. They're looking inside for their big. Instead is Tucky Ferguson. His first shot. Can't get it to go. Taylor loses the handle. Jack Salt regains. And his floater doesn't drop. Here's Russo-Nance putting up from long 2-point range off to the left. Talma with the board. It's 24-18. I'll get the scoreboard up for you shortly. The Huskies lead the Rams. Here's Salt. Taylor around the big Salt screen. Pulls up from the elbow. A little one-footer. Nice offensive rebound from Jack Salt. Goes to work on Johnson.
Oh, nice rebound by Farrington.
And here is Farrington. Good. It's stolen away by Sam Smith. Taylor throws it up, and there's Jack Salt. He'll throw it down.
Salt's clutching his knee now, so he's looking a little bit ginger on that.
Free ball off from Sean Murphy. It's 24-20. The Huskies lead. Stolen away by Chris Johnson.
Good to see Brooke Rusko stepping back into the sub lineup. He'll be back out on the court shortly.
Dante Russo-Nance Crossover, 3-ball off to the left. Who's going to come down with it? Chris Johnson is. And they'll just reset the Huskies back through Russo Nance. 24-20, the Huskies lead the Rams. Just under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Shot's got to go with one on the shot clock. Off the front line, rebounded by Sam Smith. And we're just working hard to get that scoreboard back for you at home. Our apologies. Here's Sam Smith down low. Good defense that time from the Huskies, and it's Nance, Russo Nance, who comes away with it. No look past Tucky Farrington, and that's some nice transition from the Auckland Huskies.
A beautiful pass by Russo Nance.
26-20. The Huskies lead the Rams. Deshon Taylor. And the Huskies doing a good job just stopping anything down low. As I say that, how's that for Alex Talma? Just pure strength and a bit of touch at the end for two. 26-22. Huskies up on the Rams with just under 7 minutes to go. There's Farrington shooting the three. Fouled while shooting. He'll go to the line to shoot three. Derek Albertson, the culprit.
I've been really impressed with Farrington since he's come into the game. You know, he looks confident out there. He's a good athlete. Got a good form on his shot. Not scared to shoot it. Plays good D. Rebounds well.
Fresh off college career with the University of Portland.
And one of the impressive things from the first quarter for the Huskies, they shot 64% from the floor in the first quarter, which is going to be tough to beat teams if they're shooting like that.
I've got a scoreboard for you now. This is his first 2 free throws as Farrington, the newest member of the Auckland Huskies. Settles himself and makes his third. It's Deshon Taylor almost
got away with the travel.
Singlet. Bailey, this time he puts the ball on the deck. Bumps off Farrington and then gets the ball to rattle in. (27-24). These two teams are trading buckets. Here's Farrington looking more and more confident with every possession. Johnson spinning. Russo Nance from the wing. Can't get it to go. Almost what a rebound from Tucky Farrington. Just a little too physical on EJ Singlet. The ref called the foul. Athletic young man.
Yeah. He kind of just come out of nowhere too. I think Singlet might have been a little bit surprised.
Russo Nance with the foul at half court.
I don't mind that from Russo Nance. I think that's good. Put a little bit of pressure up the court. Yeah.
This Bailey gets the inbound straight back to Jack Exeter, who fires the 3-ball high off the back iron, at the top of the backboard, and rebounded by Farrington. Or QB pass to Russo Nance, somehow keeps it in to Chris Johnson, who's surrounded by Rams. Russo Nance for 3 from the wing, and that would have been beautiful from the Huskies. We've got a foul down low. And it is on Chris Johnson. Second personal for Chris Johnson. And Sean Murphy comes into the game for Nick Barrow. This is the only matchup we'll see where there's 2 constables in the game. Phil, Ben Constable and Constable Nick Barrow of the New Zealand Police Force.
That's right.
Singler drops it inside to Talma. To drop it down.
Nice work by Murphy.
To Bailey, but Sean Murphy just slapped it out of bounds. Busy night at Cal Stadium. Talma. Here's Taylor going around the screen, taking a bit of contact and finishing. Deshon Taylor starting to impose his will on the game. On a 1-point game at that. Here's Johnson. Spreads his legs down the lane. Tough finish, and he gets it to go.
Soft touch over the rim.
Taylor. Round the big Talma screen. Trying to find a bit of space, but Sean Murphy's not giving him any. Talma mismatch down low. Probably could have gone straight up. Gets it to go. The basket counts, he'll go line to shoot one.
I'm pretty sure that ball got wedgied right then.
It did look like a wedgie, and that's what Aaron Young's asking the referees. Yeah. Is that right? He checks back in for Tuffy Ferguson.
I think the Rams have actually got a bit of a mismatch with Talma down low. You know, he's just a much bigger body than the Huskies can throw at him, and I'm sure Mick Downer will be looking to exploit that a little bit more.
Ties the game up with a three-point play, Alex Talma. We've seen plenty of Alex Talma's strength and touch on the offensive end. What often gets him into trouble is fouling on the defensive end. He's managed to avoid that so far tonight. It's Ben Constable who's sitting on the bench with 3 fouls. Rusko has to bail out of the shot. Smart spin move from Nick Barrow, though, and that's a tidy finish. Here's Taylor. Hesitation move, finds Talma. Steps back. Singler gets in front of Rusko. Here's Quentin Bailey in the corner for 3. That's a block from Chris Johnson.
There's a very long individual right there running out at you.
Here's Rusko. Good to see him back out of the court. Not showing too many, if any, ill effects from that knee injury earlier.
And that's Talma picking up a foul. Maybe he heard you a little bit earlier.
Might have cursed him.
Yeah.
First foul for Alex. Jack Salt getting ready to check back into the game. And Alex Talma takes a seat. Maybe a recognition there from Mick Downer that there might be more on the way. Good start, though, from Alex Talma and his early bit of action. But Rusko has to go and get the emergency inbound from Russo Nance. Drives baseline, had success with it earlier. This time, EJ Singler was his match. And here come the Rams the other way through Sam Smith. Salt battling for position down low with Johnson. We go around the perimeter. Here's Exeter running into the brick wall that is Nick Barrow. Salt pulls up from the elbow, leaves that hand up there just a little bit, just long enough for Chris Johnson to see. .31 apiece, 3.5 to go in the first half. Here's Johnson. Ten on the shot clock as Russo Nance runs into Jack Salt, comes away with the ball. Jack Salt spreading his legs. Russo Nance says, I'll have that, big fella. Gets it straight back off him, and Rusko still down the other end with an easy 2 points.
Nothing wrong with a cherry pick every now and again. Get a couple of free points.
Russo Nance making a nuisance of himself again. This time called for a foul. His second foul.
Rams in the bonus.
EJ Singler will go the line. Try and tie this game up. This is the first, is EJ Singler. Uncharacteristic miss from the line.
Yeah, you would think he'd be pretty consistent from the free throw line.
Thanks to the second. Three minutes to go in this first half of action. It's a 1 point game between the Rams and the Huskies from Cal Stadium in Christchurch. Nick Barrow sets the screen, 8 on the shot clock. Rusko drops it off. Beautiful work off the ball and a great find. The Auckland Huskies combining nicely.
Zach Riley defensive charge on Singler. It was very nice.
Doing work at both ends, Zach Riley for the Huskies. That's a real momentum shifter, or can be, can't it, Phil?
Yeah. And that's why Roscoe was raving about with Riley earlier on, was his ability to play defense, and showed it right there, moved his feet, got in front of the ball.
Here's Rasso, Chris Johnson, wide open on the baseline. All the Rams flooded to him, so Roscoe had an open shot. Johnson trying to get his hand on the ball. Barrow finally gets it. Russo Nance with quick feet, fires him long to range. Rebounded eventually by Jack Salt.
Oh, McDowell wouldn't be happy with the Rams leaving Brooke Roscoe wide open like that.
Here's Taylor. Dropping off to Salt, who goes up and throws it down, and there's that rim-rocking two-handed dunk of his. I am just not convinced that thing is secure enough for Jack Salt right now. As the Huskies through Zach Riley, who's having himself a fine time out there in the last couple of minutes. The hoop just about stopped shaking down this end of the court. Ben Hall into the game. 3 on the shot clock. It's got to go up. It's a contested one. Taylor, Zach Riley, great defense. Brings the ball up. Sam Smith ahead of him. Here's Rusco. Fouled by Ben Hall.
And Zach Riley's really made an impact since he's come back into the game.
Timeout called by McDowell. 37-34. The Huskies lead the Rams. Just over a minute to go in the second quarter. And you're right, Phil, just that intensity. Oh, he's scored 4 quick points as well in that last stint.
Yeah.
Took a charge and forced another turnover as well.
Yeah. I do remember his dad playing a little bit like that. Shout out to Brad Riley, who played for the Giants for a long time with me.
Former Tall Black as well.
Yeah. Left-handed, though. Very, very left-handed.
Very left-handed?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to give Brad a reply at a Huskies game one time if you're watching, Brad. Plenty of good memories for you, Phil, in this gym?
Yeah, a lot of good memories here. A lot of good wins. Some hard losses. I remember coming in here and it used to be jam-packed and just, loud, parochial. I'm not going to say one-eyed, but...
Doesn't normally get associated with Canterbury sports.
Yeah.
They do a fine job to the Canterbury Rams.
Yeah, I love coming down here to play. It was a great place to play.
The Huskies are enjoying it so far. They lead 37-34. 70 seconds to go in the first half. Rusco, Russo, Nance, Riley, Johnson and Barrow out there for the Huskies. Smith, Hall, Taylor, Bailey and Salt for the Rams. Here's Chris Johnson. Jack Salt on him. Rusco finding Russo Nance. 5 on the shot clock. He drives baseline. Good defense from Deshon Taylor, who comes down with the rebound. Oh, Zach Riley. Another turnover forced by him. Getting in the passing lane and coming up with the ball. Rusco with the little finger roll gets his own rebound. Too strong on the putback.
He'll be frustrated with that.
Smith bumping off Rusco, and his baby hook goes. And a 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock. As the Huskies will almost certainly hold for the last shot of the first half. Russo Nance with the mismatch from Jack Salt. Steps back on the big man, fires up a 3-ball and gets it to go. How's that from Dante Russo Nance? He had the final say at the end of the first, and he's had the final say at the end of the second as well.
So much composure. 16?
Yeah.
Right? That's a young guy out there. That's so good.
40 points to 36 is the score. The Huskies leading the Rams at halftime. That 3-ball did count, so 40 points for the Huskies, 36 for the Rams. And it's Brett Rusko who's leading the way with 16 points. And we're going to hear from him shortly, but first we're going to hear from Jack Salt, who's with Tiana Placid.
Like a really great battle between you and Johnson. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, he's a solid player. It's great to be out there after being out for so long. Definitely got to respect his shot, and he's athletic as well, so it's a good matchup.
Awesome. And what can we expect going into the second half?
We need to pick it up, really sloppy on the offensive end, so hopefully we play together a bit more and lock it down on defense.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And we also have Rusko here. Rusko, you haven't missed many points. You must be enjoying it out there.
Yeah, I am. But I'm very old. I'm very tired. I was just trying to keep my lungs, but it's a lot of fun coming down here. It's a very loud crowd, so it's just fun for us young boys. Well, young boys.
Hey, well, some of us don't even think that it looks like that for you. But also the other thing, they are right on your tail, the Rams are. So what can we expect for the second half?
We just got to stay with it. We learned a lot, came out strong. They punched us a little bit, stay with it, get our stuff well, we'll be all right.
Hey, well, good luck.
What a way to kick things off. A showdown in Titletown for two of Super Rugby's greatest teams. Champion players and championships with a rivalry that runs deeper than most. It's now their turn to create history. Crusaders, Brumbies, tonight live, Sky Sport 1. Coverage brought to you by Bunnings Warehouse.
Did you ever wish for something more in life?
Just dropping by to give you a little friendly advice.
Show me.
These are moments that change the course of history.
Get ready.
Are you jealous yet?
It's all yours if you want it.
All desires are valid.
If this world doesn't give us what we deserve, we need to take it.
Want to take charge of the rugby chat?
Then join us on Sky Rugby Club as we preview the weekend's action.
This is a try and a half.
I know I get excited when I watch that.
Huge game for each of their teams rest of the season.
Get all the analysis. How do you beat this team?
For me, it's the sustained pressure.
Updates from across the Tasman.
Putting himself into the frame for Wallabies contention.
And on your mates and all your footy debates.
I'm picking an upset this weekend. Sky Rugby Club every Thursday, Sky Sport 1.
That arm wrestle has gone the way of the Huskies so far.
Yeah, I think they've just done a better job executing on offense, and defensively, they haven't allowed the Rams to get into their stuff, and you would think that would be the other way around. Really, I think Mick Downer will be quite frustrated coming into going to halftime being down 4 points.
Well, we might have a look at some stats here leading the way. Brett Rusko, what a start. He has 16 points in that first half. A slight scare with a twinge of the knee, but he seems to be back to it towards the end of that second half. And Jack Salt, a rim-rocking dunt, 11 points. But it's been Alex Talma, Phil, who they've looked to towards the end inside, using his strength to combat the length of Chris Johnson. And I wonder if we'll see more of that in the second half.
Yeah, I think he had a really nice impact on the game when he came in. And, Mick subbed him out when he got their last foul. But I think maybe he's got to give him a bit more opportunity out there and see what he can do, because he's a much bigger size than everybody else out on the court. And for the position he plays, and he's got Murphy or Zach Riley guarding him, it's a tough ask for those two guys.
Shooting percentages, we have a look at the rebounds, but Phil, the team shooting percentages, the Huskies have come down from their 64% start to a 45% now at half-time. Canterbury shooting 41 and 36% from beyond the arc for Auckland.
Yeah, they've definitely cooled off a little bit, but they're still shooting at not a bad clip, and they're getting good looks. That'd probably be something that Mick Downer's pretty frustrated with.
If Alex Talma was making the impact late in that first half for the Rams, it was Zach Riley doing it for the Huskies. Came on with some quick points, took a charge, and forced a couple of turnovers, and he's been a spark plug for the Sky Tower Auckland Huskies, Phil.
Yeah, his energy is great. He comes out on the court and, the first possession, he's diving on the ball, he's getting a steal, taking a charge. That's what you want from your young guys, right? You want them to get out there and give you energy, and he's doing exactly that, which is great to see.
It certainly is. The third quarter between the Rams and the Huskies coming your way shortly after this break on the home of sport, Sky Sport.
Can you hear that? The sound of change. Plugged in, waiting to be unleashed. A race against time. 12 of the world's most powerful teams. This is Racing Electric. Welcome to Season 7. Change accelerated.
Why not?
Okay, let's play countdown, everyone.
I'm going to play you like a bagpipe.
Yeah. You're in for a real treat.
Let loose on Fridays with these crazy cats.
Now we're cooking. It's a hit.
New episodes of 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Fridays, 8:30 on UK TV.
Roll it.
Watch the game Supreme athletes level up every week.
The ANZ Premiership. We love this game. ANZ Premiership Netball this weekend, live on Sky Sport 3. Coverage brought to you by ANZ.
40 points to 36. The Huskies lead with 2 quarters to go here at a sold-out Cal Stadium. A loud, a full, yet somehow still a cold Cal Stadium, Phil Jones.
It is cold, very cold in here. It'll be interesting to see how the Rams come out second half. I'm sure Mick Downer gave him a bit of a serve at halftime, I would imagine.
Well, everything we spoke about pre-game, what we thought the Rams might do to the Huskies, has been the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, we have seen full court pressure from the Rams, but the Huskies have done well to get through it, apart from the odd occasion, whereas it's been the defensive intensity of the Huskies that have been upsetting the Rams.
Yeah, like the Rams tried to put on some full court pressure in the beginning, and they picked up a few fouls, and it was almost like they were reluctant to actually be aggressive on the ball. I think they kind of need to get back into that and just see whether they can rush the Huskies into making turnovers, get some quick, easy run-outs, layups.
Some luminaries in the crowd, as we're getting used to in Sal's NBL. Dame Valerie Adams sitting courtside, a recent new resident to the Christchurch area, and former Tall Black, Big Ed Book.
Yeah, Ed Book. Shout out to him.
There's Dame Val. As Quentin Bailey finds Sam Smith, and we can get back to the action. Here's Deshon Taylor. Yeah, Big Ed Book in the crowd. The regular at Rams games now is Salt's baseline jumper is off, rebounded by Johnson.
That's probably not where McDowell wants Jack Salt to be attacking the rim from,
Russo Nance goes around the Johnson screen and then finds the big American. Johnson trying to get position down low. Quentin Bailey. Turnaround jumper, and he drains it. Chris Johnson gets the scoring underway in the second half of basketball. And there he is with a steal at the other end. Here's Rusko trying to start the third quarter as he started the first. First attempt is off, and Singler comes down with the ball. Zach Riley ahead of him. Quentin Bailey with good position down low, but he's got a height mismatch against him, but he finishes anyway. Industrious work from Quentin Bailey.
I would like to see Chris Johnson back down on that low post again, He looks like he's got all day when he's down there.
Dante Russo Nance. Jack Salt comes from the weak side and blocks it with 2 hands, and another one, but after the whistle. A foul is called. It's called on Sam Smith. Jack Salt, though, getting a rise over the Canterbury crowd, Phil.
Yeah. He looks like he's trying to protect the volleyball net in the game of volleyball. Two-hand spike.
It looks like he's trying to protect his young in a nest 3 branches up a tree, and he's jumping from the ground. Intimidating stuff from Big Jack, but Rusko's at the line. And he makes his first. Makes them both, does Rusko. And the Rams looking to push the pace here. Here's Taylor skipping one way, going the other. Not getting it to go, and Salt couldn't drop it in, so Deshon Taylor will go again. 6 on the shot clock for the Rams. Here's Quinton Bailey's going to have to put it up. Deep in the corner, good defense, and Riley in a block.
Riley is making some fantastic defensive plays.
Barrow finishing through traffic.
That is textbook footwork right there.
Here's Singlet. It's been quiet so far in this one, EJ Singlet. Salt passes it off to a cutting Quinton Bailey, finishes with the right-handed floater. Chris Johnson seemingly playing 1 through 5 for the Huskies in this one. Russo Nance shrugs off Singlet, shoots over him, gets his own rebound. And a reset through Johnson, who steps into a 3-ball. Down it goes for Chris Johnson. 9-point lead for the Huskies early in the third quarter.
Interesting to see Mick Downer let it roll here. We're thinking there might be a timeout coming their way shortly.
Great quick hands from EJ Singler, finished off by Sam Smith. Nice interior passing for the Rams on that occasion. He was quick to call his timeouts in the first half. Was Mick Downer. Rusko working his way up the court, gets it back from Johnson. Johnson wide open behind him, that's who he finds. He's just made one from straight out in front. Instead he finds Rusko on the wing. Rebounded by Salt. Deshon Taylor's up there on his own. And that'll be an easy 2 points for the Rams. Smart find from EJ Singlet.
And Johnson passed up a 3 there. He should have taken it, especially after hitting one just a possession before.
Here's Rusko. Tossing it up for Johnson, whose foot was squarely on the line when he caught that ball. And Alex Town was about to be subs back into the game for Canterbury at the next stop of play. Singlet wide open on the wing. Misses this time. Offensive ball by Salt. Deshon Taylor, a deep 3-ball. He gets it to go. Taylor from downtown. And the Rams to turn a 9-point lead. 9-point deficit into a 2-point deficit. And we've got a timeout called by Coach Aaron Young of the Auckland Huskies.
Oh, Mick obviously knew something I didn't because he led that run, and now it's the Huskies calling a timeout. That's probably why he's coaching. I'm sitting over here.
49-47. Aaron Young wants to talk it over with his young team.
I had the pleasure of being coached by Mick when I was in Kent, playing over there. He was the assistant coach with Aaron Fern.
We made it to a grand final in 2011.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that
up. Losing to the Breakers, of course.
Yeah. Yes. Tough year. Tough loss.
Yourself and Lindsay Tate, 2 Kiwis on that team.
Yep. We were there.
Hell of a grand final series, though.
It was, yeah. I think the Breakers were always going to be the favourites, right? But we had a game to remember in Cairns in the second game, which
finished
in overtime, and our import at the time, Ron Dorsey, hit a 3-point shot from
don't you
about
worry,
where the
Phil.
Sal sign is.
A fresh-faced Hugh Bainham was sidelined for that one. The young TV3 reporter, making my way in the world. That was a fantastic game. Kevin Braswell, CJ Bruton hitting big shots for fun as well for the Breakers.
Yeah.
Anyway, back underway here in the Sal's NBL. EJ Singler, he's going to lay out for that one as EJ head first into a corporate table. I tell you what, big smile on EJ's face, and the Rams fans absolutely love to see that from their import. I think he knew he had no chance of getting it.
Yeah, no chance. Not sure whether to take that risk. I would not get up after that, doing something like that.
Not now.
Not now.
They're going to clean the floor up. The Cal Stadium Moppet crew before Dante Russo-Nance gets us back underway. 8 points for the youngster in this one. They'll bring the ball up for the Huskies. A bit of full court pressure. Nick Barrow comes to set a screen at half court. The Huskies do well to tie Russo-Nance up. Well, that's the way he responds with a deep, deep three ball. Dante Russo-Nance. Here's Jack Salt, this time on the other end. And that one looked a little bit more stable.
Just slightly.
Big dunk from Jack Salt.
It's nice watching Dante Russo-Nance. There's just no change in his expression on his face, you know.
There he is, sinking another one. Back-to-back buckets for Dante.
It's just like it's supposed to happen.
Deshon Taylor firing back with three of his own.
A little shootout going on here at the moment.
Certainly do. Johnson putting the ball on the floor this time. Putting out Talma with some good defense, but just got a bit of arm, and he owns up to it afterwards.
I'm not sure that Talma can jump that high to reach it.
It wasn't really he wasn't leaning in with his hand. It was just that's as high as he could reach, and it happened to be Chris Johnson's arm.
Johnson is he shoots the ball from quite a long way above his head.
So Chris Johnson to the line to extend the three-point lead. Misses the first. But makes the second. Deshon Taylor really pushing the pace after the free throws. Derek Albertson now out there for the Rams. Here's Salt. Barrow and Johnson in front of him, so he finds a much smaller Singler who has to bail that ball out of there. 8 on the shot clock as Taylor tries to fashion a bit of space. Albertson catch and shoot from the wing. That's short. And Tucker Farrington comes down with the ball, finds Brooke Rusko. Chris Johnson sizes up Talma. Fires a long two and gets it to drop. Singler drops it into Salt. Pulls up over Nick Barrow. Leaves that left hand up there. Jack Salt for two. Here's Russo-Nance. Albertson clearly ball into game just to disrupt young Dante. Barrow striding to the hoop. Just can't finish on the layup, and Taylor comes down with the ball. Taylor, nice hesitation and drive to the hoop. It's 12 now for Deshon Taylor. He tries to draw a whistle that doesn't come. Jack Salt jumping into the passing lane and coming down with the ball. And Taylor goes back to work on Russo-Nance. Intensity and the pace of this game certainly has just up to notch since that last time out. A cutting EJ Singler can't get it to go. Rebounded by Farrington, and here he brings the ball up. Finds Rusko in open court, and Rusko finishes with the inside-out layup.
I'm thinking Brooke looks like he's cramping up a little bit. think the pace has got to everybody. I think that timeout was seriously needed.
There's a few blowing bodies out there.
Yeah.
In action here at Cal Stadium, 60 points to 56, the Huskies lead, and they just can't extend that lead and put this game to bed towards the end of the third quarter. The Rams right there with them, trailing by 4 as the teams talk it over.
I'm not sure the Rams have led this game, have they? I think it's been the Huskies the whole way.
It has been the Huskies the whole way, yeah.
The Huskies are just doing enough to keep their noses in front.
Quiet game, Phil, from EJ Singler.
Yeah.
6 points for the import, 6 assists though, and to go with 4 rebounds.
Yeah. He was one of those, he would have been one of the top imports that were here playing for the Hawks.
2019.
Yeah, 2019.
Absolutely was, yeah.
A really, really big impact on the league. You know, probably the way that Zico had those guys playing too suited his style of play. You know, maybe with Mick there's a bit more structure potentially that he's still trying to find his way in and find where he fits. But yeah.
A double-double out there for Chris Johnson, 15 points and 10 rebounds. Jack Salt, 15 points and 8 rebounds, not far behind. That's been the premier matchup of this one. Kurt Rushko onto 20 points and Dante Russo-Nance with 14. ZJ Singler bucks out the play call. Here's Deshon Taylor. That's an illegal screen straight out the timeout. The basket won't count, and that's a real coach killer.
Yeah.
Fresh off a timeout. Alex Talma charged with the foul.
Yeah. And that's Zach Riley again, right? In the mix, defensively, being disruptive.
Here he is, ball in hand. Zach Riley. EJ Singler on him. Goes around a couple of Johnson screens. And here is Chris Johnson. Hands it off to Tucky Farrington. Out of bounds it goes. And
great hands in the crowd.
Almost wiped out a running child.
Yeah.
Huskies ball. 9 on the shot clock. Sam Smith coming into the game for Deshon Taylor.
That reminds me of the time that I saw Mika Vakona peg someone in the crowd with the ball with one of his no-look passes. I'm not sure that person remembered the rest of the game after that. Oh, fantastic pass.
Riley and Johnson combining nicely, and Zach Riley's fouled. The foul called on EJ Singler. That's his 4th personal for EJ with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, Phil.
Yeah.
So Deshon Taylor comes straight back into the game. So out there on the court for the Canterbury Rams, Alex Talma has 3 fouls, Ben Constable has 3 fouls, and EJ Singler's just hit the bench with 4. And Zach Riley compounds the pain by making his first free throw.
I'm not sure McDowell will be probably kicking himself a little bit that he left EJ out there.
This is the second, rebounded by Sam Smith. Taylor. Talma just getting in his own point guard's way there. Good hands there from Farrington, but here's Talma wide open for 3. Rebounded by Johnson, number 11 for the big American. Riley with it. Crossover at speed. Russo-Nance wide open for 3. That's short though. Taylor comes down with the board. Taylor showing off his handles. Ben Constable thought about the 3. Here's Talma with a mismatch. Baseline spin on Zach Riley. A nice one at that, and he finishes just Alex Talma.
That's where that's where they need Talma. I think they need to go back to that more often, you know, to give the big guy some looks under the hoop.
It's Farrington. His first bit of action for the Huskies. Riley somehow keeping hold of possession and finishing through a lot of contact. And Sam Smith's gone down clutching what looks like his ankle for the Rams. And he's just a little ginger as Sam Smith. As Jack Salt comes into the game, as does Ben Hall. Smith and Talma to take a seat. Talma taking that seat a lot quicker than Sam Smith is.
He looks a little bit sore.
The game goes on, though, with 49 seconds left in the third quarter. Oh, Zach Riley almost stealing the ball off Deshon Taylor. Salt doing well on the offensive rebound. And he's fouled as Jack Salt. Well, Deshon Taylor was doing that little move that just to save a bit of time that we've all done on NBA 2K. And it was Zach Riley who almost dove in and stole it. 14 on the shot clock. And look for Jack Salt. That's who they find. He goes up the left-handed floater and he gets it to drop. 3-point game in this third quarter with 30 seconds to go as Farrington almost loses the ball. Chris Johnson just letting the clock wind down as much as he can. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
It's not often you see a 6'10" point guard.
That's a long two if it goes, and it does. And the Rams will have 10 seconds, 8 seconds I should say, to fashion something to cut this 6-point deficit. Taylor's going to have to put it up soon. He does. He's fouled. And the foul's been called on the floor.
Riley is just a pest on defense. Look at him.
Was he shooting? It doesn't matter because Deshon Taylor will inbound with what looks like 0.9 of a second on the clock here at Cal Stadium. Who are they going to look for? They're going to lob it up to Salt. He's going to turn around and put it up. Just blocked. Just seeing what the referee's going to call here. They're going to discuss it. No, they're not. That is the end of the third quarter. 65-60. The Auckland Huskies lead the Canterbury Rams. Three-quarter time. They took it that quarter just by 1 point, 25-24. The Rams not letting their opponents from the North Island get away in this one. Three-quarter time. It's a 5-point game with 10 minutes to go. We'll be back shortly after this break.
What a way to kick things off. A showdown in Titletown for two of Super Rugby's greatest teams. Champion players and championships with a rivalry that runs deeper than most. It's now their turn to create history.
Yes, boy! Unbelievable!
Crusaders, Brumbies, tonight live, Sky Sport 1. Coverage brought to you by Bunnings Warehouse.
Did you ever wish for something more in life?
Just dropping by to give you a little friendly advice.
Show me.
These are moments that change the course of history.
Get ready.
Are you jealous yet?
It's all yours if you want it.
All desires are valid. If this world doesn't give us what we deserve, we need to take it.
Want to take charge of the rugby chat?
Then join us on Sky Rugby Club as we preview the weekend's action.
This is a try and a half.
I know I get excited when I watch that.
Huge game for each of their teams rest of the season.
Get all the analysis. How do you beat this team?
For me, it's the sustained pressure.
Updates from across the Tasman.
Put himself into the frame for Wallabies contention.
And on your mates and all your footy debates.
I'm picking an upset this weekend. Sky Rugby Club every Thursday, Sky Sport 1.
Welcome back to Cal Stadium. As a Rams fan, just misses out on a chance of $200. And while you weren't impressed with her shooting, Phil, you've been impressed with the shooting from the Auckland Huskies so far in this one.
Yeah, they've been really solid from the floor and from the three-point line. I think they're 50% from two and 41% from three, which is a pretty good effort.
Certainly is. They lead the Canterbury Rams by 5 points to the Auckland Huskies.
And they've got weapons all over the court. From 1 through to 5, they can stretch the floor and shoot. Chris Johnson's capable of shooting threes, and then they've got their point guards. They can all shoot.
In a bid to go 4-0 in their first full season in the South NBL. The Auckland Huskies lead by 5 with 10 minutes to go, as the referees try and get them out onto the hardwood here at Cal Stadium. Meanwhile, the 1 and 2 Canterbury Rams need an improved fourth quarter if they're going to get themselves up to 500 in the early stages of the season. Riley, Rusco, Murphy, Farrenson, Johnson out there for the Huskies. Taylor, Hall, Albertson, Constable and Salt for the Rams. Here's Brett Rusco. Sean Murphy catch and shoot from the wing. That's off, and it comes off the knee of Brett Rusco. Rams ball. Haven't seen much of Sean Murphy tonight, Phil.
No, not a lot. Especially after the last weekend's game, he had a real big impact.
Just 11 minutes before the start of this fourth quarter for Murphy. Tucky Farrenson, I guess, a new addition, taking some of his minutes as Ben Hall's 3 ball is off. Deshon Taylor will get the long rebound. Steps back on Riley, but Riley does well to prevent the shot. Here's Jack Salt. Will he go to work on Chris Johnson? He does. Gets to his preferred left. That's just too strong. Rebounded by Murphy.
What I like about these young guys when they come in is they make an impact. You know, even though they've only played limited time, they come in, they just play hard all the time.
Riley to Brooke Rusco. Back to Riley. Quick hands. Tucky Farrenson's 3 ball is up. Rebounded by Derek Albertson. Goes to Deshon Taylor. Drops it off to Jack Salt. Just a delicate floater there from Salt. Settle a few Canterbury nerves at the start of this fourth. Talking more about the fans than I am the players. Rusco goes around another high screen from Chris Johnson. As we have a foul called by referee Hamish Dale. Derek Albertson, a little too-handsy. Dante Russo-Nance checks back into the game. Albertson, yeah. Just getting Rusco from behind. Johnson hands it off to Russo-Nance. Speaking of youngsters making an impact, what about the impact he's made on the league? Murphy, drive, dish to Rusco in the corner. 3 ball from Brett Rusco. It's pretty basketball from the Auckland Huskies.
Yeah. Good spacing, good patience, penetrate, pitch it to the corner, wide open 3.
Ben Hall turning the corner and committing an offensive foul.
Zach Riley at it again.
Zach Riley is having one heck of a defensive game.
He might be trying to get the trophy for the most charges for the season, if there was ever that trophy.
Who would you name that trophy after, Phil? You played for a fair chunk of the 40 years of this league.
Dylan Boucher was always one that was trying to get charges, especially on me. Especially.
The only 2 players to play over 400 times in the New Zealand National Basketball League, Phil Jones and Dylan Boucher. He got you in the end, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Unless you want to dust the boots off?
No, negative.
He probably would if you did. So.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And he's probably got a better opportunity than me now that he's the
Director of Basketball Operations.
With the Huskies, correct?
I'm sure the Giants would never say no to you, Phil. Here's Chris Johnson for the Huskies. Pulling up from 3. Salt with a long rebound eventually. His singlet to Hall the other end. Picked up the backboard by Johnson. The long arms of the law from Chris Johnson.
Oh, that was a great block.
The foul called on Deshon Taylor. What a block from Chris Johnson, just pinning it to the backboard. 68-62. 7.5 minutes to go in this one. Here's Chris Johnson. He's got 17 points and 11 rebounds. Rusco's deep 3 doesn't go. Rebounded by Talma. Taylor finding Jack Salt. Jack Salt with 19 and 10. Still a foul down low. Sean Murphy trying to get to grips with the wide load that is Alex Talma.
And Talma's battling down there to get position, but they're just not looking at him.
Sean Murphy just employing the hug, and Aaron Young has seen the potential mismatch, so in comes Nick Barrow.
And that's probably one of the reasons why Murphy hasn't played as much, is because, Talma is such a big body down there.
Here's Salt with good position. This time he just throws it down on Chris Johnson. Jet Salt says, "This is my house, Chris." And to the line, he'll go for one more.
Oh, that was impressive.
Even Chris Johnson
impressive.
just gave him a nod afterwards. Yeah. Jack Salt with fire in his eyes in this fourth quarter.
You think Johnson's going to go back at him?
I hope so. I really hope so. What a matchup it's been. And it's set the table for later in the season when these two do battle. Converts the three-point play. It's Talma fouls. Fourth personal on Alex Talma. 68-65. Both these teams are going to leave it all out there in this one. Here's Zach Riley. He's been impressive today. As I say that, he loses the ball. Deshon Taylor comes down with it. And he earns a trip to the line, does Deshon. Riley committing the foul in the end.
Zach will be a little bit disappointed about that, but for all the good things he's done, you expect you give him a little bit of leeway.
Well, it's going up against Deshon Taylor, who spent some time in the Australian NBL, of course. It's always one of my favourite things in the New Zealand National Basketball League, Phil, is when young Kiwis take it to the imports.
Yeah, it's always good to see that happen out on the court.
And the imports relish it as well, as Taylor makes both his free throws to make this a one-point game.
And Riley hasn't taken a backward step at all against Taylor.
And neither is this young man, Dante Russo-Nance. Big screen for Nick Barrow, an illegal one at that. And is the momentum just shifting the way of the Canterbury Rams? The fans at Cal Stadium certainly think so. Deshon Taylor getting the crowd involved. And it's finally starting to warm up as Taylor takes the contested three. That would have taken the roof off. Rebounded by Johnson. Fires it out to Zach Riley. That was a real stadium heat check, wasn't it, from Deshon Taylor, as Johnson is clattered on his way to the hoop. So he'll go to the line to shoot two.
You got both teams in the bonus early too in the fourth quarter.
Makes the second was Chris Johnson. 3-point game, 6.5 to go. EJ Singler out there on 4 fouls, as is Alex Talma. Deshon Taylor, Salt in good position. Instead they go to Talma. Here's Singler going to work, slips hard, hits the deck harder, and turns the ball over, unfortunately. And Mick Downer wants a timeout to talk things over.
There's been a few people slipping over tonight, whether it's whether the floor's a bit slick or...
Doesn't feel very humid, does it?
Yeah. We are definitely not sweating on the commentary box, that's for sure.
Always a warm vibe at Commentary Plaza though, Phil.
Yeah, always.
Both coaches talking it over with their teams. Remind you of the other basketball coming up this weekend in the Souths NBL. Round 3 officially underway now. The Bulls are in action right now against the Southland Sharks. Tomorrow night, 2 games. The Manawatu Jets taking on the Otago Nuggets. The Wellington Saints welcome the Nelson Giants to the capital city. There are 3 games on Sunday at 3 o'clock. The Auckland Huskies back in action on their home court, taking on the Southland Sharks. And 2 games at 5 p.m. for you. The Hawke's Bay Hawks taking on the Giants at Pettigrew Green Arena in Napier. And the Taranaki Mountaineers finishing things off against the Otago Nuggets at TSB Stadium in New Plymouth. We've got a real arm wrestle to start round 3. 6 minutes to go, 3-point game. The Huskies up over the Rams in Christchurch.
Rams, they're just sort of, that 3-point margin is they cut it to 1 before, but they just can't quite seem to get their nose in front.
They can't seem to get their nose in front, and the Huskies can't seem to shake them either, which is making for just wonderful television for us, Phil. This is a Huskies team that many thought wouldn't be competing this much early in the season. They had a few late changes with their imports. Offensive foul. Zach Riley can't believe it. The Canterbury Rams bench love it. Deshon Taylor using every inch of his experience on the young Kiwi.
Yeah, I think he set him up with the first one, and then did he take a dive on the second one? I don't know.
The salesman, they call him.
Definitely sold that one.
Either way, it's Rams ball, and they've got to do something with it. Here's Talma. They try and look inside to Quinton Bailey instead to find EJ Singlet. Here is Bailey, going to go to work. Up with that left. It worked before, it's worked again. Quinton Bailey for 2, trims it to a 1-point game. Oh, then stolen by Deshon Taylor. We go back to Bailey. Will he go back to that left hand of his? Not this time. He fires it out to Singlet. Ball on the floor from Singlet. Here's Sam Smith striding down the lane. Deshon Taylor, 7 on the shot clock. Smith in the corner. That's short. Gets his own rebound as Sam Smith gets Russo Nance in the air. Bailey from straight out ahead off the back iron. The Rams will go again. Taylor with a long 3. That time it goes. It's loud now in Cal Stadium. It's Dante Russo Nance in live action drives. And here's Sam Smith the other end. Taylor with Zach Riley ahead of him. The Rams have the lead for the first time. Step back 3. Deshon Taylor is on fire at Cal Stadium. Timeout called, Auckland Huskies.
It's danger time for the Huskies now.
Stepping back on net barrow. High art. Tickles the twine. 75-70. And that's an 8-point swing after that timeout, Phil Jones.
Yeah, that's the way that Mick would have wanted the Rams to respond coming out of that timeout. A couple of really good defensive positions, and then it took them a while to get going. Had 4 opportunities, and then they knocked one down, and then all of a sudden the lid came off, and another one by Deshon Taylor. Now it's time to see how the Huskies react coming out of this timeout.
This is a big timeout for the Sky Tower Auckland Huskies. 4.5 minutes to go.
Basketball is the ultimate game of runs right now, you know?
Ben Constable's turn to fire up the Cal Stadium faithful. As Mick Downer and Aaron Young give each other steely looks down the sideline, trying to work out what each other's thinking. Rusco, Russo, Nance, Riley, Barrow and Johnson out there for the Huskies. Smith, Taylor, Singlet, Salt and Talma for the Rams, and Dante Russo Nance had to just keep it in. There's ferocious pressure from the Rams. Can Zach Riley alleviate it? Not this time. Jack Salt comes down with the ball. Singler looks up and he sees Taylor. Johnson's floating around there. Taylor! And that's a great finish from Deshon Taylor. And it is loud in here. Oh, Phil, as we see the replay here, Deshon Taylor would have just seen the lean, long figure of Chris Johnson lurking for another.
Yeah, Deshon used his body well there, protected the ball, and
I thought we were going to see another chase down, pins block against the backboard, but Deshon Taylor and his basketball IQ had other ideas. What a fourth quarter it's been so far for the Rams. As Taylor converts the three-point play. They lead this fourth quarter 20 points to 5, Phil.
Yeah, it's been a big quarter by the Rams.
Here's Nate Barrett. Finding Sean Murphy. Good handles from Sean Murphy. There's quick ball movement for the Huskies. What's he going to result in? Got Rusko with a tough turnaround jumper. Deshon Taylor goes up high and comes down with the rebound. What a fourth quarter the point guard for the Canterbury Rams is having.
It's that defensive intensity from the Rams has just picked up.
Taylor wants to go to work at Murphy, earns a foul.
Going the free throw line. This is what I thought we'd see from the start with the Rams. You know, it's taken them, you know, three and three quarter quarters to get into it. You know, like.
Tucky Farrington checking in for Nick Barrow. Deshon Taylor will go to the line to shoot 2 and look to add to his 23 points of work. A fair few of them coming in this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Thanks a second does Deshon. 9-point game. Having not led until just a few minutes ago, they now lead by 9, the Canterbury Rams. Farrington pulls up from mid-range. Murphy with the good offensive board. Russo Nance with a deep 3. He gets it to go. Dante Russo Nance with a much-needed bucket for the Auckland Huskies. Deshon Taylor pulls up again. Yes, it's a goal. Deshon Taylor shakes his head. He can't believe how on fire he is.
He is making some big buckets.
Russo Nance in live action brings the ball up. Fires it across to Tucky Farrington. Looks to drop it off. Well read from EJ Singler though. And that's a smart steal from the Rams. Here's Taylor. No one with him. Finishes with his left this time.
He has just taken over this game right now.
Zach Riley's going to come back into the game. Has he been the man missing for the Huskies? As Russo Nance looks to fashion something. And he does. Dante Russo Nance still doing work out there for the Huskies. But it's now an 84-75 lead to the Canterbury Rams. Singler as the lane just opens up for him. Finds Jack Salt. Oh, he's well short. Perhaps a tip there from Chris Johnson, I'm not sure. Taylor with a steal at half court. A big point, perfect pass to Talma. And Talma finishes. Timeout called by Aaron Young on the Auckland Huskies. The Canterbury Rams and Deshon Taylor are putting on a show in the fourth quarter here at Cow Stadium. $86-75. What a turnaround. A 26-10 quarter in the favour of those men in red and black.
Yeah, big quarter by Deshon Taylor. I don't know how many points he scored this quarter, but he has had a big impact on the game.
I can tell you he scored 16 in a row.
Okay.
For the Canterbury Rams.
Not bad.
16 straight points for the Canterbury Rams for Deshon Taylor. 17 points in the fourth quarter. Well, that's one way to turn a game on its head, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And that was one of the things that I was a little bit concerned with the Huskies, is once the Rams got in front, how were they going to react? But, the Rams, they just turned it up.
They haven't had a chance to react, really, have they?
It's just been like, constant pressure on the rim, 3 balls going down. Like, it's just been like, what's going on? It was like they'd been a knockout punch, right?
Well, the Rams in danger of not being on the court in time for getting underway. But they are now, and they're set up, and Brooke Ruskell will get us back underway. They lead by 11 to the Canterbury Rams. Here's Russo Nance dropping into Chris Johnson. Thought about the step back too. It takes it in the end. Heavily contested, rebounded by Alex Talma. Here's Taylor. Well, they know the clock is their friend with 1:30 to go.
Yeah, definitely not going to be in a rush for the next 3 or 4 possessions, that's for sure.
Sam Smith, nice interior passing. Jack Salt just couldn't get it to go. Gets a rebound and he's fouled. Will go the line to shoot 2. Ponte Russo Nance not happy with the call, but there was certainly a lot of hand and a lot of arm in there. Whether it was his or not, I'm not sure.
So will be slightly disappointed he didn't convert on the first one, but he stayed with it.
Foul's called on Zach Riley, who was fouled out of the game. But a fantastic defensive game from the youngster, as Jack Salt heads to the line to add to his 22 points and 12 rebounds. This is his first. And the second, but they're going to get the rebound of the Rams. Deshon Taylor, why not take the deepest 3 out there? That's off, though.
He was too open that time.
He was. Here's Brooke Ruskell shooting a 3-ball in transition. He gets it to go. Is there a glimmer of hope with 1:08 to go here for the Auckland Huskies? Taylor puts on the Jets. Smith over the Singlet. The leader of this Canterbury Rams team will just slow things down. Under a minute to go now. 86-78, 7 on the shot clock. Talma, 2 on the shot clock. It's got to go. He drives, takes some contact, can't get it to go, and that'll be a shot clock violation, which the Rams might not mind using all 24 seconds.
Better than a turnover and a run out down the other end, that's for sure. Now the Huskies got to go full length of the court, try and get a shot up. And they've got no time to waste, right? They've got to get it down as quick as possible, get something on the rim, get a wide open 3 if they can. And they've got to be thinking about fouling, right? After a bucket.
All this will be going through Coach Aaron Young's mind as Sean Murphy finds Tucky Farrington. Shot early in the shot clock. 3-ball rolls around into the outstretched arms of that man, Deshon Taylor. No look pass, and it was on a dime, but Talma just couldn't haul it in. .24 to go, and it's another turnover, and that'll do us as Taylor's away. That pass just ahead of him.
Got a little bit messy in the last 30 seconds.
It's about this time, Phil, where we normally discuss who's our player of the game. I think we can safely say it's Deshon Taylor, can't we?
Yeah, I think the effort in the second half is definitely put him in that position. I do want to mention Zach Riley. I think he's had an incredible game. Defensively, he's been really good.
And Deshon Taylor will have the last say of this one. He'll take 2 points for good measure.
Padding them.
To tip him to 31.
31.
7 assists and 8 rebounds.
That's a solid game. Solid game.
And it's a win for the Canterbury Rams. 88-78. They seen off the Sky Tower Auckland Huskies. 88-78 is the final score. That two-pointer did count from Deshon Taylor. So the Canterbury Rams improved to 2-2, and it's the first loss in the young season for the Auckland Huskies, who now have a 3-1 record. Show stealer, Deshon Taylor, willing his team to a fantastic win, and he's just having a nice chat with